Hey friends. So I woke up this morning and Katie and I had a date night last night. Annalise is over at her grandparents. That meant that I could sleep in a little bit because otherwise my morning routine has to happen before Annalise wakes up. So there's a whole morning constellation that changes when the girl is out of the house for a night. And I woke up and I just for I don't know why, but it's like a voice in my head said, I'm just going to lie here and think about all the things in my life that are great. Think about all the things that are amazing about my life. And I started doing it. I started thinking about the people in my life, the resources in my life, the opportunities, the training that I've done, the amazing teachers that I've had, the incredible op- creative opportunities I've had, the parents that I have, the in-laws that I have. I just started. It was like once I started, and starting with my own family, Katie and Annalise. I was kind of staggered by this richness. When I think about it that way, I have no choice but to conclude that I'm the richest person in the world. It's absolutely, absolutely magnificent. And I've been, I sort of brought that into focus. I was reflecting a little bit about where I'm trying to go and the changes that I've been talking about, and had a great conversation with Katie last night about how she'd read an article, I think like in the New York Times or something, about how an overemphasis on our job, on our profession, which is a kind of typically American thing, can really be an adverse thing if it diminishes our investment in the rest of life, which I think that's a danger that I, even with all the kind of um, awareness that I have about what truly brings me value in my life, what my life is really about ultimately in terms of what I'm trying to serve in the world and how I'm trying to serve my family, all of that. Even with that awareness, there's a sense of my identity being defined by or being very attached to my professional performance and professional success. And so when Katie was talking about the article she'd read, it evoked for me, it reminded me, or kind of like brought online an awareness of, yeah, maybe that's not the way to do that. Maybe that's something could kind of work to let go of, because I think about, I sometimes imagine how vast the context of human awareness truly is. We are infinite. Our awareness is infinite. And as far as we know on this planet, the only beings who are aware of our own awareness, the only self reflective consciousnesses on this planet. So, cultivating our awareness, evolving our awareness, expanding our awareness, expanding our consciousness is the ultimate human desire. It's underneath everything else. Every other desire in the world, from professional to creative to personal to whatever, is all of those impulses are ultimately they're ultimately in service of a desire for the self to expand. And because we have incredible teachers in the world and incredible pioneers, spiritual pioneers who have been there and done that and taken that work to a really remarkable level, we can be aware that that's the ultimate human goal. We can feel that, we can sense that, we can know that. So that means we can sort of see through any other motivation, any subsidiary motivation like professional ambition or the desire for a relationship, the desire for status, the desire for money, any kind of interpersonal or professional or otherwise aspiration is ultimately gonna be it's gonna come down to a desire for the self to expand. So why not just embrace that context and acknowledge that doesn't mean that we're not going to do the concrete things. It just means let's not create an identity around those concrete things. Let's let that vast spiritual expansion that we're capable of be the thing. And for me, even though that's something that I think I talk about it on this post, I practice it in my life. It was telling to me that when Katie started talking about this article and talking about the way we invest in our professions as Americans and our identity and our value and our sense of success is so tied up in our profession, it made me kind of have to go, oh yeah, I can't look in the mirror without seeing some of that. And so that sort of like settled me back into a place of thinking about, what does it mean to really manifest the life of your dreams? What does that really mean? Is it because it's not the things in the vision, right? It's not the things on the vision board. The vision board might have a lot of beautiful, wonderful things on it, but that's not the life. Then that's not ultimately the goal. The ultimate goal is this expansion of self, this expansion of consciousness that we literally cannot stop doing. We can't stop. Any boundary we hit, we're gonna want to go beyond that boundary. So one of the things that showed up for me was acknowledging that everything that's in my life right now, all these things that my mind was just giving me a little tour of this morning, which again sort of stunned me with the amount of richness in my life. All those things are things I have already manifested. So when I think about looking ahead, and even when I think about what I would call the challenges or the problems with my current state, current place, it's ultimately those challenges and problems are arising in a context of infinite creation. They're the next step of expansion for me. That's kind of all they are. However I define the problem in my kind of daily concrete life terms, it's ultimately what I'm sensing a barrier between myself and greater expansion. That's it. And everything that's here now, part of the trick of manifestation, I think, is acknowledging that that everything that's here now we've already created. It's not that that these are the givens, right? That's how our mind tends to think about it. This is life as it's given, and here's where we'd like to go. Have a vision that's out there somewhere. That's not how it works. Every single step of the way is the vision. It's all part of the vision. And acknowledging that manifestation, getting good at manifestation, is in large part about acknowledging that we've already created everything we've wanted until now. Even if there might be dissatisfaction, or there might be a sense of there's a problem here, or there's a sense of I have to take a next step, or there's a dark night of the soul, or there's a crushing weight of responsibility, or whatever it is, we have always already created everything we've ever wanted up to now. There's a beautiful kind of like poetic way that this happened. My daughter Annalise is quite a manifester. I watch her just create all the time, and she had this. There was a week or so ago. We went to a restaurant, and they had this like little toy kitchen where like kids can pretend to cook, and she's spent a bunch of time there. They had these little plastic eggs that you could crack and pretend to like make eggs. Really fun. And as we were leaving, she was like, "Papa, can I get some plastic eggs?" She was really into this like pretend cooking thing. And I was like, "Yeah, sure, honey." And I didn't promise her anything, but I was like, I just affirmed, yeah, of course, that seems like something that's a reasonable thing that we could maybe get, especially, you seem to really have a strong desire for this. And then we come home, she sits down, she starts playing with Katie, and she didn't have any, we didn't have any plastic eggs, so she took an egg carton and put rocks in it and was pretending that the rocks were eggs. Starts playing with Katie, and then I wasn't there for this, but Katie said that she started to say, I really want to go get these eggs. I really want to go get plastic eggs, like pretend eggs. And like she wanted to drop everything and just go get these eggs. And Katie said, wow, that's a really powerful desire you're experiencing. But without saying, yes, we will drop everything and go to the toy store. And then Annalise went, wait a minute, had this moment of recollection, and ran upstairs and found a carton of pretend plastic eggs that she'd gotten from her grandmother like a week ago. Or even longer ago. Maybe it was even before we went to Crystal Lake. So she had already manifested this burning desire. In the moment, it was a burning desire. She really wanted some plastic eggs that she could pretend to cook with. And there's a lesson in that to me. There's a lesson in there of realizing we've already created what we want. That's the trick to manifestation, is realizing we're doing it all the time. All the time. all the time. Even when we do the thing that we think is the opposite of what we want to do, we're doing it. We're manifesting what we more deeply want, more deeply need to see, whatever it is. So that's what I'm receiving right now. And as I'm in this transition phase to whatever is next, it's awfully healthy to be reminded, yes, transition, yes, going somewhere new, yes, next phase coming, but also everything right now I have asked for. Everything about this picture I've manifested. So don't think that it's about somehow cutting that off or getting away from that. There's no out. There's just deeper into this. So it showed up this morning. Now Katie and I get to go have a date morning. Definitely manifested that. Thanks for watching, folks. Appreciate you. Have a wonderful day. I will see you soon.